Hello, sir. I'm trying to find the March to Gaza protest. Do you know if it's around here?
لماذا تبدو مثل علبة حلوى سكيتلز؟ أي نوع من الهرطقة هذا؟
No, I don't speak Palestinian. I just need directions to protest.
لا أعرف من أنت، ولكن يبدو أنك تحبين وضع أشياء غريبة داخل قناة الولادة.
Look, buddy, I'm on your side. I just need to find out where this protest is so I can block your local roads.
هذا يكفيه. أنت تتكلم مثل أحد محاربي قوس قزح من أمريكا. إذا لم تتركني وشأني، فسأملأ رأسك بالحجارة.
And sorry, do you guys have a gender-neutral bathroom? My flight took longer than I was hoping.
لقد انتهيت من
Hello, internet. Sorry that this video is coming out late. I was arguing with a Google employee for about an hour and 15 minutes over two videos that I am currently disputing. One got rejected even though it got rejected for like nudity and sexual and vulgarness, even though WAP, the song by Cardi B, is not demonetized for those reasons. So apparently my song, my diss track, was too much for them. Just absolutely ridiculous, but I did manage to get help in the exact way that I was hoping for originally. So that is that. But anyway, we are going to be going over Reddit's response pretty much to the Iran and US situation. And we have 5 other posts that we're going to be looking at as well, but this is kind of the main one I wanted to do because this is a mega thread with 15,000 comments, so hopefully there's a lot of juicy content in here. But without further ado, let's get on to the posts. Megathread, US President Trump says that the US military has bombed multiple Iranian nuclear sites. And just before we get into this, I just want to briefly go over my stance on the whole thing. So the reason there's going to be a lot of hypocrisy probably in a thread that we're going to read is because Obama drone striked over 500 times during his presidency. 500 fucking times. 400? Over 400 something, I don't know, around 400 in Pakistan, over 100 in Yemen, and probably a dozen more in places around that region. So if you're gonna say there's no precedent for a president doing this without Congress's approval, quote unquote, that is absolute and complete bullshit. And I also find it really funny that Redditors will defend Iran of all places. You know, the place that funds terrorism and has one of the most like corrupt and controlling and homophobic, you know, all the ists and phobes that a government could possibly have. Just entirely totalitarian, and they target citizens just constantly. So regardless about what your beliefs are about Israel, these people absolutely, I think, cannot actually have a nuke. I think they are really up there with China, Russia, and North Korea in terms of how much they hate us. But unlike those other countries, they are engaged in a complete holy war. Like, they believe that this is their greatest mission. So I see them as much more of a threat and likely to do retarded shit if they ever get a nuke. Like, basically every time they open their mouth, they promise to nuke us, so I do not know why we wouldn't believe them. So any of these Redditors saying, like, we're essentially escalating war, we're not escalating war any more than Obama did, who had, let's see, probably over 550 more strikes, let's be honest. All without congressional authorization, and all without imminent threat, or the same level of imminent threat, let's say. Trying to develop ICBMs and getting 60% enrichment on your uranium is basically like making bullets and magazines and then telling everyone that, no, I don't have guns. Why would I have guns? I just have all these bullets and magazines in front of me. It's absolutely crazy the hoops I've seen people jump through to defend Iran or say that, you know, they're telling the truth or whatever, even though they're notoriously liars. And keep in mind, I don't want boots on the ground. I think this is the most we should do, period, unless they escalate things further. And even then, we have probably even more advanced drones than Ukraine. Like, Iran is not going to win. We basically executed all their leaders. And you know what? I give Israel credit. It is actually impressive how precise they got at it. And it's too bad they couldn't have done that with fucking Gaza and Palestine, because they had like, what, 42,000 civilian casualties, which is absolutely insane. But you guys know I am not here to defend Israel. They have enough of our money and weapons, so I'm sure they can handle it themselves. 37,000 upvotes. Because we live in a world where we learn about attacks on nuclear sites from the president's social media website. Yeah. I don't see why the public is obligated to know when, where, and how we're gonna strike the enemy. Especially if we're trying to do it with any level of like stealth or deception. Don't feel bad, apparently Congress is being informed the same way. Well, like I said, if Obama doesn't have to cash his check in, I don't see why Trump does. I don't see what Congress would have gained from knowing either, other than like possible leaks. Unless they're in the Signal chat with a few reporters and spies too. Wait, who are the spies? Are they talking about fucking Tulsi Gabbard? And also, I haven't talked about this situation in a while. I hope they like highly investigate Mike Waltz. I do not trust that motherfucker. What he did was as mentally retarded as it was negligent. Just competitive levels of autism, even outpacing the likes of Elon Musk. How are we supposed to fight a two-front war with Iran and Los Angeles? I don't know, maybe Los Angeles can, follow the laws of the country it's a part of? That would probably help. This coming just a couple hours after he bitched and moaned about wanting the Nobel Peace Prize? Look, if Obama can get a Nobel Peace Prize in 9 months for quote-unquote strengthening international diplomacy after, drone striking people 500 times, I think Trump deserves, 2 of them. His track record seems a lot better than Obama's, just saying. He's got dementia and was already stupid, so not sure what he's gonna change in 3.5 years, other than things getting worse. I want to bet $1,000 that this person would have 100% voted for Biden in 2024. I know I say it a lot, but I seriously don't understand how they say Trump has dementia. Trump never seems to stop cooking even when we want him to. I don't know how he's not burnt. He's got narcissistic personality disorder first and foremost. This is fucking bold coming from the people that say like the LGBT community and the black community are some of the best things ever just because of the way they were born. Like if Trump ever used this race to get a one-up like these people do, he would be so canceled. They would have to start using fictional characters to describe how evil he is. If that ever were to occur, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they just started comparing him to Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. The rhetoric makes it sound like he thinks he can just drop bombs and then just walk away from this. Drops bombs, now is the time for peace. I really despise this man. Oh yeah, no, we should have just totally let the most genocidal and totalitarian and bigoted governments of all time just do whatever they want. Why don't we have the Matt board as president? Let's see how much karma you got. 321,000 karma. I definitely trust the guy that likes to make art and, I guess, bake to make global decisions, military decisions. Like, look at this. We need the banana cream pie guy to tell us what's up. He will demand a Nobel for dropping a bomb and bomb Sweden if they don't give him one. Isn't Sweden like one of the most neutral countries we have? Why the fuck would he bomb Sweden? I looked it up and the Peace Prize is the only Nobel Prize that is not awarded in Sweden, so I do not know what this reference is. From CNN Live Updates feed, 22 minutes ago, Trump prefers a diplomatic option towards Iran. I mean, we actually know this is true because they gave him 60 days. And not only that, we allowed them civil amounts of fucking uranium, which means they were allowed to like build uranium plant or nuclear plants or whatever. Which I think is incredibly generous considering how they act. But anyway, 3 minutes ago, Trump announces airstrikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. Wild how quickly that did a complete 180. Yes, it's called a surprise attack. Welcome to the military. Do these people just want to give Iran an advantage? I don't understand. Conservatives are acting like everything is over now, that we bombed them and everything will be fine, but doesn't this mean we just entered a war? What are we entering a war with? Is Iran in a state to enter a war? They can barely send missiles at a country that is almost right next to them, but now apparently they're gonna go full-scale war against us. Ain't no way. I love how confident they are too. Mission accomplished 10 years later. They're losing this conflict so much that not even China, North Korea, or Russia wants to help them. In fact, Russia offered to even take their uranium to their country so they can stop this. That's how down bad they are. No walking this back. They voted for the idiot wannabe dictator. They got what they wanted. Now we're going to war over lies and falsehoods. Wow. I guess Obama is now our first black dictator. That's pretty cool. Now is the time for peace? The time for peace was before Trump canceled the Iran nuclear deal, not after we've dropped the bombs on them. You mean the Iranian nuclear deal where they paraded us around the country saying, hey, look at our facilities, and by the way, thank you for all the money that you gave us in exchange for this. We're definitely not building bunkers underground to build the bomb that you told us not to build. Yeah, that was going swimmingly. These people are so quick to forget history. And by the way, we are still offering them the chance to use uranium for their country to actually, develop it, instead of just oppressing their citizens. Implode the economy, explode the national debt, start another war in the Middle East that our grandchildren will still be dealing with, fracture relationships with our allies all over the world, restrict even more freedoms with increased surveillance on US citizens, wreck the environment like a rock star on a bender in a hotel. But hey, here's your fucking eggs, and also we bullied some trans kids, God bless America. Oh my god, dude, how do they always bring it back to trans kids? And to be honest, I don't see too many differences in the economy, except actually egg prices are down, but just overall from the Biden administration. We're still not even a year in, by the way. And it's not like any of the other leaders weren't doing this either. And again, we are not in a war right now. And we've already signed multi-billion-dollar deals with multiple countries, so I do not understand, most of these complaints. I'll have to check out the surveillance one though, because I heard there could be some legitimacy in this, even though we already kind of have a surveillance state and we all know it, we just don't really give a shit. Because what the fuck are we gonna do? Deploy soldiers on US soil against peaceful protesters, yes, those peaceful rioters. Start a war while the soldiers are doing your illegal homeland kidnappings. I still think Obama has the record for deportations in the US. Wasn't he literally the deporter-in-chief? Real 4D chess action by this clown. Dude, I am so sick of the euphemisms. This is how you keep gaslighting people. It just never stops, especially on Reddit. I fucking hate Donald Trump. What an insightful comment, and he got 13 awards for this. I'm at the Bernie rally in Tulsa. He found out while on stage it was surreal. While talking about the big beautiful bill, one of the crowd goers yells, "We just bombed Iran." He looks stunned. Dude, we gotta look at this.
From Donald Trump, quote, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, etc."
Oh my god, dude.
I agree. And I want to tell you something.
Oh, here we go.
Not only
Well, look at this.
that I've just heard, the second alarming that all of you have just heard, but it is so grossly unconstitutional. All of you know that the only entity that can take this country to war is the U.S. Congress. The president does not have the right.
I love this though. Will you please list all US presidents who have authorized airstrikes on other countries without congressional approval? Can you also add their political parties next to their names? Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it that. Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Great. But no, when Orange Man does it, all of a sudden, we're about to go to war, everyone. This is the worst thing ever. Oh my god, dude. I fucking called it. Hands off Iran. Dude. We're having a Queers for Palestine Part 2, man. Why don't they go to Iran then? The country that wants to terrorize and nuke every single person in this frame is the ones who are against us stopping their nuclear development. I need y'all in the comments to make it make sense, please. Is it really just Orange Man bad? Democrats watching Iran lose their nukes? Okay, sorry, we gotta get off Twitter. Or I'm just gonna be here all day, but this is fucking hilarious. Vote Republican, get another Middle East war right on time. If we actually go to war with Iran, I will buy an I Love Pizza Cake shirt, alright guys? That is my bet against this. So this dickhead just dragged us into another war without congressional approval? Fuck that. Edit, y'all. I can be mad at this situation and blame Tangerine Palpatine. I told you guys, fictional characters now, without all the whataboutisms. Yes, prior admins have done shady shit, but that doesn't mean I can't be mad about this one too. That's a logical fallacy used to perpetuate the violence instead of calling for, okay, yeah, but we know you were never gonna call that out. Instead of calling for a stop, if you can just turn and be like, well, all of these admins did it too. Yeah, and I was against all those as well. Uh-huh, buddy. Alright. You totally don't think Obama is the best president to date. I know you believe that. Using the argument that just because others did it doesn't give license for this one to do it too. Be better. Okay, this is actually one of my top least favorite phrases of all time. Anyone who says be better to you, just immediately disregard anything they say because they're no longer arguing in good faith. They're just trying to get some type of weird moral supremacy. It's so fucking cringe. Alright, maggots who said this would be the end of your support, you're a fucking move. Dude, I'm pretty sure every single Congress member, including Trump, has said Iran cannot have nukes at some point in time. I don't know why this is such a controversial opinion now. These people just have no other option but to think and act like children because they've gaslit themselves for I don't know how many years now. Isn't it like 8, 9? Honestly, I don't think the TDS will ever go away. Reminder that the Republican Party can stop Trump at any time with impeachment and chooses not to. It's the entire party. I will keep commenting this. People need to never fall for this party's bullshit again. Yeah, I'll stop falling for their bullshit once you figure out what a woman is, okay, buddy? I do, however, want to bring this tweet up real quick from 2013. Remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly. Not skilled. Oh, Donnie, this tweet did not fucking age well now, did it? It's a good thing I'm a flopitarian though, so I don't have to give a shit. AOC says Trump's Iran strikes clearly grounds for impeachment. AOC is just one of my least favorite fucking people ever in politics. She is just such a fucking wretch. I don't know how anybody ever took this person seriously. Anyway, sorry, every time I see her face, I just crash out a little inside. I know, I gotta control myself, I'm turning into a Redditor. We also have a Republican Congress so far, they haven't done shit, but let him do whatever he wants to. All thanks to the brain-dead voters in this country. Aw man, they just never learn, do they? I can't wait for a 2028 Trump presidency. I think Asmongold is right. If he gets every single thing he wants, I think it is on the table, okay, I will say. And I'm not gonna lie, if it's between Trump and AOC, we're going for round 3, baby. Or I guess 4 at this point, let's fucking send it. He is walking, talking grounds for impeachment. Too bad the US has torn away the pretense of ethics. Ah yes, the same people who want to sterilize and mutilate kids are talking to me about ethics. Please, Redditor, give me your wisdom. 2/3 of Americans say Donald Trump has definitely or probably committed crimes. Yeah, can we get like an equal level of investigation on every single person who is in Congress for the last 20 years? Please and thank you. Did you guys know that Donald Trump is the first person to ever commit a crime? I know a fun floppa fact of the day. Yes, our legal system has found that he has committed crimes. The headline should be that 1/3 denies reality. You know what? 1/3 isn't that bad considering half the country does not know what a woman is. And I would argue got Men in Black memory wiped about the entire Obama presidency. That seems to also be a strange phenomenon. ICE agents covering their faces should rattle all Americans. Well, why did y'all try to dox them? I doubt they would have been anywhere nearly as vehement about doing it if you didn't try to destroy their entire lives for just following their federal job. But no, we have to compare them to the Nazis to justify it. Some great Lenin tactics. I thought masks were incredibly hard to breathe in, so much so that conservatives were all gasping for air in the Walmart. Now they're fine? This dude is swinging at ghosts. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm sure you can find some viral clips, but I think the main criticism was that they weren't as effective as the government said they were. The real reason they were afraid to wear masks is because it activates a dormant racism gene that inherited from their KKK ancestors. They are no longer mask-off assholes, they are mask-on racist assholes. Dude, what the fuck is this guy smoking? This right here is your brain on Reddit, guys. Be very careful. That's why I navigate the trenches for you so you don't have to engage in the mental deterioration from first-hand contact. We need the oversight committee to investigate these dickheads. Please quote me on that. As soon as we take back power in the House. Oh, really? You think you're gonna take back power with the incredible amount of quote-unquote leadership you have? You know what? That makes me pivot to this post. Let me check this one out real quick. 62% of Democrats agree party leadership should be replaced. Survey. So you guys think you're gonna take back the House while at the same time thinking that your entire leadership is completely cooked. 62% of you, mind you. So yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon. There is no leadership to replace. Start placing leaders. Exactly. We currently have zero competition in the market and it definitely shows. Alarm as White House says Trump has not ruled out dropping nuclear weapon on Iran. 28,000 upvotes. Well, thank God we are much more generous with them than they are with us about dropping nukes. At least we're only considering it instead of making it an absolute. If he really wants to destroy Iran, just go be their president for 100 days. Oh, got him. You know, why don't we just replace him with Iran's president and just see how these fucking people react? Why don't we split the country in half and give them Iran's president and see what happens? I bet they would still find a way to say Trump is worse. And alright, this is gonna be the last post. Fox News accused of adding fake applause during Trump parade livestream. They had to help him out. And if we go down to the comments, this is one of the most liked comments. Fox News should be designated as a terrorist organization. 1.2k upvotes. And I don't know if this is irony or a joke, but I do not see a /s. So I'm just gonna take these people 100% seriously because that's how they take themselves. Outside of millennials attempting humor, there is basically no comedy on this site, and it's so fucking sad. But anyway, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and thank you to all of my base gods, base legends, super based, and base certified members, and I will see you guys today. Actually, I'm gonna post 2 more videos today. I'm getting this one out late, sorry. Peace.